While the main characters for any anime are sure to steal the headlines, seeing a sleek, smooth car to boot it is sure to cement their spot as being cool. Today, we're going to look at some of the most epic cars used in anime. 10. Mercedes SSK 1928 Lupin. This Japanese anime remembered this century-old car in 2017 when the Lupin series was released. This two-door roadster is historical, being the last car designed by Ferdinand Porsche before he founded his own company. The show featured several classic cars throughout the adventure of Master Thief Lupin. From sporty little cars to recognizable roadsters, however, none of them came close to the Mercedes. SSK was primarily driven in the Lupin pilot film Part 1, 2, and 3. Though this car tends to get destroyed throughout the series, it finds a way to return to working condition by the next episode. Alongside other cars featured in the series, it's an expensive luxury to own in the real world, given that there remain only 5 of them in the world. Seems fitting for someone who is an expert thief. 9. The Devil Z, Wangan Midnight. Also known as S30Z, the Devil Z is a highly modified car based on models like the Nissan Laurel. It is normal for anime makers to utilize real-life vehicles in their art, which is what comes around about the anime version of Nissan's Fairlady Z. The car is known for its supernatural speed and was used by Akio Asakura throughout the series. The previous owner was also named Akio Asakura, who died 2 years before the story began. It was the other Akio who bought it and restored its former glory. In the anime, Devil Z is a cursed car. A curse that allowed it to travel at an unbelievable speed, which is a hefty advantage when it comes to street racing. However, the story isn't the same as reality. It is a challenging car that frustrates most drivers due to its absurd amount of power and speed at the expense of control. The car has a profoundly adjusted L28 engine. It was stoked and exhausted to 3.1 L, has a twin super intercooler and 3 carburetors. 8. Lotus Super 7 X-Driver. We all visualize a world where AI will take over everything, including driving. The good news is anime has given us a taste of what to expect if we do so in the X-Driver series. X-Driver released 6 OVAs and a prequel OVA episode as well as a movie in the span of 2 years. It is mildly prophetic, set in a world where nobody drives their car, but instead of what we had expected of cars running into trees while AI drove, X-Driver comes up with a squad of super drivers who will come to rescue you in flashy cars. Among those cars is the gorgeous Lotus Super 7, and the driver is somewhat of some interest. You just have to ignore one fact: his age. Soichi Sugano is a 12-year-old driver, but for his young age, he made up for an extreme talent that comes in handy in the series. The job of Soichi and his friends is to guarantee the well-being and prosperity of the residents in the city. 7. F1 Tailenders. Although this short anime doesn't have the necessary reviews or popularity to back it up, it was an interesting one to watch. Clocking in at less than 39 minutes, this manga moved at a blistering pace, and it accomplished a lot despite the short time. In a world ravaged by earthquakes, 2 rivals compete to match the record set by Loser King, a racer who disappeared from their world 100 years prior to movie events. And this wasn't without Tomo Shiro and his F1 car. Shiro's career as a racer was promising, not until he had an accident that nearly killed him in a race. A woman showed up and made him an offer he couldn't refuse, and his damaged heart was later replaced with his car engine. When it comes to speed, no car can hold a candle to F1. This car is beyond the realm of believability, and it just screams terrifying function and wonderful style. If you like your cars fast, then Tailender and the F1 in particular are worth watching. 6. Mach 5 Speed Racer X. Who doesn't recognize Mach 5? From its alphabetized gadgets to its retro-futuristic look, the Mach 5 is an iconic car in its own right. It was first developed by Kenichi Hibiki in the series, who was also a racer. Unfortunately, Hibiki had an accident while he was test running the Mach 5 and was pronounced dead. The car laid down for some time before Hibiki's father recovered the wrecked car in honor of his son. A few years after the rebuild, the new Mach with the Engine X that miraculously survived the accident participated in the Grand Prix. And this time, Go, the younger brother of Kenichi, was the driver. The iconic Mach 5 might not be directly related to any real-world vehicle, but it's one of the most famous cars in anime history with its fully equipped arsenal of gadgets. The vehicle takes inspiration from Le Mans sports cars, and its overall body design resembles the famous Ferrari 250 Testarossa. 5. Toyota AE86 Initial D. There's something so effortlessly stylish about Initial D, and it has had a ridiculous impact on the media since its release. It is their cars. Those cars take center stage, but none is more iconic than the Takumi Fujiwara's Toyota AE86, a car so immersed in street racing culture that its presence is still felt to this day. If you're just venturing into the world of car anime, then you can try this movie out. It was about the story of Takumi Fujiwara, who was exceptionally talented in driving his Toyota AE86. He usually drove the car to make transportations for his father's catering. While it was just a simple vehicle, the real model established the framework for road dashing in Japan. 4. Blue Falcon F-Zero. You can't mistake the Blue Falcon with any other vehicle. It is one of a kind owned by Captain Falcon in the F-Zero series. It is one of the major vehicles in the racing anime. In the F-Zero X, the car number was changed from 111 to 07 without any explanation. With a well-defended body, average boost power, and good grip, the Blue Falcon is well-balanced and impeccably tuned. Captain F knows every inch of this machine, which makes its performance impressive. 3. The Spinners Blade Runner Black Lotus. These stunning futuristic transports are snatched right from the live-action film and given a glossy Technicolor anime update for this spectacular anime spin-off. The Spinner is a generic term used for the fictional flying cars used in the Japanese anime Blade Runner. It can be driven as a ground-based vehicle and within seconds take off vertically to hover and cruise using jet propulsion like the vertical takeoff and landing aircraft in use in real life. 2. Mercedes A-Class Next A-Class. Next A-Class is a fun and short anime about children driving a super A-Class Mercedes-Benz and going on a rapid pursuit to get the amazing noodle truck. A lady named Nico was strolling the streets when she saw an elusive ramen truck that drove the city streets at breakneck speed, and the only way to sample its tasty wares was to catch up with it. Nico, Gatsu, and Makito, together in their trusty Mercedes-Benz A-Class car, tried to intercept the goods, no matter the cost. The anime was produced by Mercedes-Benz's marketing division to support the Mercedes' brand new A-Class premium hatchback that was going to arrive in Japan by 2013. 1. Subaru Impreza Initial D. As we've said, Initial D is a one-of-a-kind anime that features really good cars, so we have to pick among our best from there again. The honor goes to Subaru Impreza, driven by Bunta Fujiwara, who is arguably the coolest character in the whole series. Takumi's Toyota was previously owned by Bunta. When his son got somewhat addicted to racing, Bunta had to leave the car to him. He then finds himself with the keys to a Subaru Impreza WRX STI Type R for a test drive. Bunta ends up in an impromptu race against him and defeats him. Takumi didn't realize who was behind the wheel until the end, which cemented Bunta's decision to buy the car. Unlike most cars used in Initial D, the Impreza remains practically stock, except for a custom exhaust. It pinches the top spot from the AE86 in our eyes, and clearly in Takumi's too, as he borrows it for a few dates in the series. Most of those cars are speedsters, so those racing fantasies of yours would have been quenched at this point. Which one of those cars would you like to experience? Let us know in the comments section. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel and click on the notification button.